Mike wonders, who wants to live on a bleak rock? Why not a pleasant rock? Mike wonders why no guards stand watch on the mushrooms. They are taller than towers, and far more comfortable. Mike would rather travel in rain than fix holes in the roof after a storm. Mike hates patching holes. Come back later. We can talk some more.
Not a moment too soon.
You've missed her! The impresario, I mean. She'll be back soon. I'm almost totally certain.
Excuse me, please. I have a message. If I may be so bold, you match the description I was given. I have a message to deliver to you, if that's all right. An old wizard hired me. Called himself Abner Tharn and claimed to be a battle mage in service to Emperor Varen Aquilarius, if you can imagine such a thing. He was quite insistent I find you and deliver his words exactly as he relayed them to me. Forgive me, but I can't duplicate his imperious inflections.
The great Abner Tharn requires your assistance. With it, we can end the Three Banners War. Report to me immediately, if not sooner.
He asked me to mark his location on your map.
Traveler, a moment of your time. Honor and faith, Wayfarer. Blade Master Kasura awaits you at the Watch House in the city of Davon's Watch. She requests you join her there at once. I do not have all the details, but I believe it has something to do with a Dragon Guard tomb. A former student seeks a solution to the threat facing elsewhere among the remains of that ancient order, and Kasura agreed to assist him. Dragons. The terrible beasts have returned to ravage the land of the Khajiit. But it won't be long before they endanger all of Tamriel. Blade Master Kasura sent me to find help. I found you. Blade Master Kasura awaits, Wayfarer. Divines walk with you. Kasura teaches the ways of the ancient Yokudan sword saints at the Abbey of Blades. Under her guidance, I hope to one day earn the rank of Blade Master. Blade Master Kasura can tell you more. I am not privy to enough details to speak on her behalf.
Have you come from Balfoyan? What news do you have? Yes, soldier. Thank you. We're giving the Covenant a good fight. Without your warning, Davon's Watch would be in their hands. Feels good to save a city, doesn't it? The Covenant is attacking Davon's Watch. The Devils bombarded the northern district. Now they're ashore preparing to attack. I need every able hand in the battle to come. And you'll stand where you're needed. Right now, Grandmaster Tunvol Indural's at a manor in the north of the city. He's got a smart plan, but he needs help. Follow me or meet me there. Your choice. Excellent. Let's get going. Let's get going. The Covenant's been bombarding the city for days. If Davon's Watch falls, all of Stonefalls is in danger. I came to fight with my old comrade, Tunvol. Poor bastard. Didn't even get a soldier's death. Damned Covenant. Will this bombardment ever stop?
Holgen said you were reliable. I trust his instincts, and I know there is much work to do. The Covenant closes on us like Nick's hounds on a kill. They think they've already won the city. They're entirely wrong. They are doomed to the last man. You are the plan. There's a relic beneath the city, guarded by spirits of my ancestors. For me to fight them would be blasphemy, but you aren't of House Indoril. The entrance is through the tombs across the square. Bring the relic here. Only that you need to bring it. I tried to reason with my ancestors, but they do not understand our peril. You must succeed where I cannot.
Problem, Sarah? I wasn't worried. Were you worried? Back, you fetcher! What do you say we try some of the local fare? I'm famished.
Did you recover the relic? That was one of my ancestors. He refuses to recognize the threat facing us today. It's time to turn the tables on the Covenant. For that, you must buy me some time. I need time to prepare the ritual that will bring this to an end. We have to delay the Covenant troops to the south. Ask Holgan. He's commanding the defense of the West Gate. If you need a guide, speak to Garin.
My orders are to help you. Then we should go. My orders are to help you. Father said the Yakaviri War was like this. Such senseless death and destruction. Commander Holgan, I have duties with my father. Fight well.
I've been reviewing our defenses. It's not good. The Covenant is bringing up ballistae and siege ladders. Time to show them what we've got. Do? Burn those ballistae. Same for the ladders. Burn them to ash. I'll be leading a sortie from the gate. Meet us when you're done. It'll be glorious.
Welcome to the harborage, Vestige. This is as comfortable a home as an old dried-up husk like myself could hope for. Despite my blindness, nay, because of it, my other senses seem to have heightened. This place had the right smell about it. Indeed, but let us not get ahead of ourselves. Without an understanding of where we are bound, every road will get us nowhere. Before we truly understand our destination, we must speak of the past. Of a sort. I invite you to enter my mind and walk with me through visions of the past, that you might understand the events that brought us to this time, this moment. Enter my mind, Vestige, and walk with me through the shadows of past events. Follow me, Vestige, and learn of the events that precipitated our current crisis. My part in the story began when I awoke on the steps of the Abbey of the Moth Priests, with no memory of my prior life. The Moth Priests took pity upon me and brought me into their fold. I was weak and near death. It was there I first set eyes upon the Elder Scrolls and devoted my life to their study. The scrolls allowed me to glimpse the very fabric of reality, but each profound insight dimmed my vision and eventually left me permanently blinded to the light of the world. The prophecies of the Elder Scrolls are a fluid, living thing. They are not fixed. At many points throughout history, the actions of heroic mortals have rewritten them. I only know that you are important, Vestige. The scrolls reveal to me that your destiny is intertwined with that of the Five Companions. The Five Companions were a band of adventurers who sought out an ancient artifact called the Amulet of Kings. They hope to use this artifact to persuade Akatosh, the dragon god, to accept their leader as one of the Dragonborn. The Dragonborn are mortals destined for greatness, with the blood of the dragons in their veins. It is said that only a true Dragonborn can ignite the eternal dragon fires in the Imperial City. Baron Aquilarius, the son of a Colobian duke, who led a rebellion against the Emperor Leovic and took the crown himself. Alas, Veron was not truly a Dragonborn, as those who sit upon the ruby throne must be, in accordance with tradition. You have already heard enough babbling from this old blind fool. It is time you met the Five Companions yourself and witnessed their fate. The first companion, Lyris Titanborn, daughter of giants, was the mightiest warrior in the service of the Emperor. Next, Abner Tharn, a powerful sorcerer and Grand Chancellor to the Imperial Elder Council. The Red Guard Swordmaster, Sai Sahan, leader of the Imperial Dragon Guard. The Imperial Emperor, Baron Aquilarius, who attempted to light the dragon fires and failed. And finally, Manamako, the traitor, the king of worms, a powerful necromancer, and your executioner. These were the Five Companions who set out from the Imperial City on an epic quest to recover the lost Amulet of Kings. Manamako convinced Veron that the amulet could be used to perform a ritual that would rekindle the dragon fires. He claimed this would please Akatosh and entice him to adopt Veron as one of the Dragonborn. By tradition, only the Dragonborn can lay claim to the Ruby Throne and rule as the one true Emperor by divine right. Varen conquered Cyrodiil and took the throne, but unless he became Dragonborn, he feared he'd always be thought of as a pretender. Each of the 5 companions were chosen for their skill and courage, and each was given a special role to perform in the party. Who would you like to know more about? You've already met Lyris. She's a Nord warrior from the frozen lands of Skyrim to the north, and it is said that her family lineage contains the blood of giants. Varen chose her for her strength and her loyalty to be his personal bodyguard. Sai Sahan came from a long line of Redguard swordmaster nobles. He was the leader of the Dragon Guard, the security detail of Varen and the Elder Council. While Lyris was Varen's bodyguard, Sai was charged with protecting the entire group. The Therns are one of the most influential families in Cyrodiil. Abner, their patriarch, is the leader of the Elder Council, a powerful battle mage and a shrewd politician. With his council, Varen was able to seize the Imperial throne years before. Manamako the traitor, the great enemy, the most powerful necromancer this world has ever known. His worm cult infiltrates and corrupts every corner of Tamriel. It was he who convinced Varen to perform the ritual you are about to witness. Disaster, war, and pestilence. A world brought to its knees. Now watch and see how one man's arrogance brought about the greatest threat our world has ever known.
There it is. The Dragonfire Brazier. Manamako, you certain this will work?
It will work, my liege. The Amulet of Kings will rekindle the dragon fires and ensure your rightful place as Emperor. You have my word.
It better work, Manamako, or you'll find your neck at the business end of my axe.
My lord, I wonder if you'd muzzle your half-giant pet. She really is annoying.
Enough, both of you. We are here to ensure my lord's rightful claim to the Ruby Throne.
Abner, begin the ritual. I have a destiny to fulfill. By the lighting of the dragon fires, I claim my rightful lineage. By the fires of creation, let me be reborn. By the will of Akatosh, I proclaim myself Dragonborn.
Varen Aquilarius, you are no heir to Alessia. You will pay for your sacrilege. The veil between Tamriel and Oblivion tears and splits asunder.
What's happening? The sky's opening up. This is bad. This is very bad. Ah!
This isn't supposed to happen. What's the meaning of this? Manamako, what have you done?
Gullible fools! The veil between Oblivion and this world has been torn. My master, Moloch Bal, is free to claim Tamriel for his own.
Akatosh! Forgive me! Have mercy on our souls!
The ritual tore the veil between Nairn and Oblivion, allowing Manamako to begin stealing the souls his master needed to power the dark anchors and initiate the plane melt. Akatosh gave Alessia the Amulet of Kings as a symbol of his covenant with Nairn. So long as the amulet remained in the care of Alessia's heirs and the dragon fires remained lit, Tamriel would be protected from the Daedra. Manamako tricked Varen into breaking the covenant, and the veil between Oblivion and Nairn was torn. The Elder Scrolls named this event the Soul Burst. It gave Molog Baal the opportunity to disconnect the souls of Nan from their hosts. Varen was lost. In the chaos of the moment, Sai Sahan took the Amulet of Kings and fled. Leris was captured by Menemarco and delivered to Cold Harbor, the realm of Molog Baal. Tharn remains Chancellor of the Elder Council, and his daughter Clivio rules as Empress Regent. But the true power remains in the hands of Menemarco and his worm cult. When I discovered the truth about the 5 companions, I made subtle inquiries, but apparently not subtle enough. Menemarco got word of my interests and abducted me. He took me to Cold Harbor, where I remained a prisoner until you freed me. The truth is always a threat to evil men. Menemarco feared I would reveal his treachery, and if knowledge of Nan's vulnerability were to become known, it could threaten his master's schemes. Molog Baal does not favor loose ends. Walk with me. Long ago was written, so long as the Amulet of Kings was borne by Alessia's heirs, Tamriel would be protected from the forces of oblivion. But the soul burst tore the veil between worlds and gave Molog Baal the opportunity he desired. Molog Baal's dark anchors pierce the torn veil and seek to draw near into the depths of Cold Harbor. These terrible engines of destruction are peering all throughout Tamriel. If the Lord of Brutality and Domination is successful, he will merge our world and his own in a terrible plane meld. Few will survive the ordeal, and those that do will be enslaved for all eternity. And so it falls to us, Vistage. We must stop Molog Baal and his dark anchors, or our world is doomed. And now history seems to have caught up with us. Shall we return to the harborage? As you say. And so it begins. The remainder of the story has yet to be written. It is your story now. And there is so much to do. But know this, you will not walk this path alone. We must grow in strength and in numbers. You will need more than the company of an old blind man to alter the course of history. We must assemble our own group of companions. The first you have already met. Lyris sacrificed her own freedom to allow us to escape. She remains a prisoner in Cold Harbor. I must determine her precise location if we are to mount a rescue. That will take time. Menemarco's agents leave a web of lies and deceit. They pit the races of Tamriel against one another and divert their attention from the real threat. Seek out these agents, wherever they can be found, and expose their lies. Forgive me. Bringing you into my mind seems to have taken quite a toll on me. I must rest. I will contact you when the time is right. Until then, walk in the light, Vistage. Seek me by the cliffs outside Devon's Watch. Hurry. It is good to see you again, and I do see you in my own way. You're a wound in time, a tear in reality that shouldn't exist and cannot long endure. Fate speaks in riddles. Your fate was written in the scrolls long ago. It is entwined with the fate of the 5 companions. I have finally located Lyris Titanborn in Cold Harbor. She works a terrible forge under the lash of the great deceiver Molog Baal. Her soul is in great danger. You must go to her. I can manifest a gate to that dark realm, but you must go quickly. Tread carefully in Molog Baal's realm. You are important. The scrolls have so named you. After Lyris took my place in the Wailing Prison so that we might escape, the Daedra moved her to the Foundry of Woe. It is a place of torment and despair. She toils endlessly making weapons for the enemy. The God of Schemes invaded my mind many times during my imprisonment. It was a tortuous experience, but by forcing his way into my mind, he inadvertently opened his own thoughts to me, and thus created a chink in his own armor. We are connected, he and I. With concentration, I can see through his eyes. He feels my presence, and it fills him with rage. When you enter the Foundry to recover Lyris, I can keep his attention focused on me. He will be blind to you for a time. It will be a far greater danger for you to enter Cold Harbor without this distraction. It is Molog Baal's realm, and his power there is great. I will endeavor to distract him in this manner whenever you travel there.
You're alive. Are you really here, or is this another trick? And he's still alive. Thank the gods. But you can't stay. You have to leave before they find you here. You don't understand. They've done something to me. I can't leave. It's hard to describe. My memories, my feelings, they've been fragmented, ripped apart. And all the fragmented pieces have been locked away in different parts of the Foundry. I've tried. The Daedra took everything. My willpower, my courage, my sense of self. I'm an empty shell. And the fragments are reflections of my worst fears and most painful memories. I can't. I don't think I can face them. I'll do my best. Lead on. Be careful. These lost souls are barely aware of their humanity. The guards don't even beat them anymore.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
This can't be. It looks like my childhood home in Sky. My parents' graves. My mother died in childbirth. My father was distant. Cold. I think he blamed me for my mother's death. I ran off to become a mercenary when I was 16. I never saw my father again. He was murdered by an old enemy. Father? Papa, is that you?
Bleed, you bastard! Die like the monster
I guess
you
this
are!
is a fight now.
Your mind and soul are already ours!
Maybe I should have joined the buoyant Armigers.
Who are you? Why does Lyris walk with you? In life, I was Gyalda, father to Lyris. My spirit was torn from its rest and brought to this foul place. The Daedra forced me to experience my own murder again and again. I thought my torment would never end. I don't understand. Lyris was always a free spirit. Why would my presence bind her here? Lyris, is this true, child?
You were always so cold. So distant. My mother died giving me life. It was my fault. I should never have been born.
Lyris, look at me. The blood of giants flows through my veins. Your mother was a Nord. I gave her my seed without thought for her safety. That's why she died. Not because of you, child. Because of me.
I thought you blamed me. You couldn't even look at me, Papa.
Do you not see? When I looked at you, I saw her face. I loved her, child. Just as I love you. More than life itself. We cannot change the past, nor should we cling to it. You must not let these feelings haunt you. Let them go. Let me go.
I love you too, Papa. Rest now. Be at peace. He's gone. Come on, let's get out of here. place is a labyrinth of hopelessness built to compound the misery of those who labor here.
Did you get all the pieces?
Yeah, I stashed them in the footlockers all around camp.
They're coming
I bet
for
the
us.
commander makes her run 50 laps this time. She's all... Wretched Nord slave.
No one wants her.
You will rot here forever.
I never used to fight this much, until I met you.
Did you find something? I can't believe it. This arm... Excellent. I'm ready. Watch your step. All the mining has made these tunnels unstable.
You lead.
Abner Thorn, you traitorous bastard. I should have expected to find you here.
Don't be a fool, Titanborn. I'm trying to help you. Your hatred poisons you. Warriors are like steel. When you lose your temper, you lose your worth.
Help me. You betrayed us all, then went back to licking Manny Marco's boot before the smoke cleared.
I did what I had to do. And as a show of my good intentions, I have a gift for you. But be warned, Cold Harbor will not give it up easily.
Is that... Sure's bones, it is. Vestige, that's my battle axe. It's good to have you back. Are you thirsty for Daedric blood, old friend? My axe. Oh, it feels good to have it back. It's part of me. Losing it was like losing an arm. I don't know. I don't trust him and I never will. But it's odd. The blind hatred I felt when I saw him... I could have strangled him with my bare hands. But now... I think you... Better. Stronger. Almost whole again. Isn't that strange? I feel powerful enough to take on Umaril the Unfeathered himself. I feel... like a warrior again. We're not done yet. We need to keep moving forward. The passage is blocked by a rock slide, but now that I have my axe back, I might be able to break through it. Stand back. No damn pile of pebbles is gonna stop me now. So many Daedric beasties, so little time. We need to keep moving. Did you hear that? It sounded like... No. It couldn't be. Sai, what's happened to you? What have they done?
Lyris. Lyris. I can see you. Are you really there?
Sai, it's me. We're seeing some kind of vision of you. Do you know where you are?
I don't know. They're torturing me. They want the Amulet of Kings. Want me to tell them where it's hidden. But I haven't broken. Not yet.
Sai, you need to hold on. We're going to find you. I'll make sure of it. We'll find you. Somehow we'll get you out of there. Sai? Sai! No! Bring him back, you bastards! That was no trick. That was Sai Sahan. Sai's a friend. Maybe my best friend. We need to find him and get him out of there. We need to tell the Prophet about this. He'll know what to do. But first, we need to find a way out of here. I don't care what else they throw at us. Nothing is going to keep me from helping Sai. Something's wrong. It's the source of all my fears. I can hear it whispering to me, taunting me.
That one put up a fight, didn't they?
The voices. The whispering. It's gone. This whole time it was like watching myself from a distance. I felt disconnected. But now, this is the best I've felt in years. Like I've been reborn. And I owe it all to you. Thank you. Let's get out of here. We need to rescue Sai. Then we've got a world to save.
Lyris, child. Are you all right?
Yes, Prophet, I'm fine. The vestige freed my mind from the Daedra's control.
Change of plans?
They won't take me again. Not alive, at least. Prophet, Manamarco captured Sai Sahan. He's torturing him to find out where the Amulet of Kings is hidden. We have to rescue him.
You brought Lyris back, and largely intact from the look of her. And she would need time to recover. One does not leave such a place unscarred. What did he say? Did Sai tell you where he is being held? Then we must locate him before Menimarco forces him to reveal the amulet's hiding place. Did he? I thought he had firmly aligned himself with Menimarco and his worm cult. Curiouser and curiouser. As you saw in my visions, the amulet's misuse ripped a hole in the barrier that protects Tamriel from the forces of oblivion. That damage must be undone, and the amulet is the key. But to find the amulet, we must first locate Sai Sahan. For now you must leave me to my meditation. I must set my mind to the task of locating Sai Sahan. Until then, embrace the unknowable. The drops of water cannot know themselves to be a river, yet the river flows on. Perhaps it was simply arrogance. Perhaps it was all part of his grand scheme. Who can know the logic of a Daedric prince? I will call upon you again when the time is right. Farewell, Vestige. Despite many days of meditating and scrying, Sai Sahan's whereabouts still elude me. The projection that you witnessed in the Foundry of Woe showed him to be in great peril. If we are to find him, I will need your help, Vestige. Though Sai remains hidden from my sight, Lyris brings news that an agent of the enemy lurks in Davon's Watch. Fear is on the lips of the people. Darkness walks among them. Even a blind man can sense it. It is the hand of Menamarco. If it is truly an agent of Menamarco's worm cult, it may provide us with a clue that will hasten our search. Seek this agent, but tread carefully. The worm cult is a cult of necromancy, and the undead are fearsome opponents. Venture to Davon's Watch. Speak to Fedwira Lauren at the market, or Okia the beggar. Lyris first heard murmurs of trouble lurking in the shadows from them. Locate this agent of evil. Return with any personal effects they carry with them.
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
So much to do.
I wasn't going to ask you for coin. I'm no beggar. I prefer to sleep out here where it's warm. Come to think of it, there was some out-of-towner mucking about in the abandoned stable last night. I didn't pry. None of my business. Also, he was armed. I'm no fool. See here, I had no idea the man was wanted by the authorities. He didn't... Wait. I remember now. He was with another man. Gaunt and pale as a ghost. They opened a storm cellar door near the stables. Do you think they were burgling the place?
Since the war began, the market has never been busier. Let me think. Ah, yes, Imperial Fellow. Tall, brusque, rather boorish. He pushed me while I was haggling at the market. Scurried off toward the east end of town when I tried to have words with him. Typical. You're very sweet to say that. He scurried off in the direction of the stables, if that's any help to you. And he was with another man, deathly pale with deep-set eyes. He gave me the chills, that one did.
Sheath your weapons. The battle is won.
Feast on your blood!
Underestimating you was their last mistake.
What is the meaning of this interruption? Why have you contacted me? This is Abner Tharn. The Master and I are very busy. This had better be important. Wait a moment. I don't know your face. Identify yourself immediately. Yes, your report, you insipid twit. What, did you contact me by accident? Well, out with it. I don't have all day. Your disguise is terrible, by the way. You look like a character from a bad adventure novel. Are they? I didn't think that Redguard has-been had a single friend left. Not in this world, at any rate. Never fear. Sai Sahan is safely locked away. Even if they were to discover his location, attempting a rescue would be suicidal. Of course I do. But I'm not in the habit of revealing vital secrets to insipid lackeys. Now be gone. And if you contact me again without good reason, I shall contact your cell commander and have you properly thrashed for your ineptitude.
you know how long I've been looking for you?
You've returned. What have you found? Abner Tharn shows his face again. I get the sense that he might have a larger part to play in the coming events, but for good or ill, I cannot say. Leave the orb with me. I shall be able to use it to locate Sai Sahan.
Hold a moment. Come here. We need to talk. I heard you and the Prophet talking about Abner Tharn. Didn't the Prophet tell you the story of the 5 companions? I don't know where to start. There's so much to tell. We were chosen by Emperor Varen to join him on a quest to recover a lost artifact called the Amulet of Kings. The 5 included Varen, myself, a Red Guard named Sai Sahan, Abner Tharn, and the traitor Manimarco. You only know him as the man who killed you and stole your soul. But back then, he was Emperor Varen's most trusted advisor. It was Manimarco who convinced Varen to search for the Amulet of Kings. Varen wasn't a true Dragonborn Emperor. He didn't share Alessia's bloodline. Manimarco said the amulet could change all that. He said he could use it to perform a ritual that would turn Varen into a true Dragonborn. It took us more than 2 years, but we finally recovered the amulet and returned to Cyrodiil to perform the ritual. Manimarco set us up. The ritual caused a violent explosion of magical energy. We lost Varen. Sai Sahan and I were declared outlaws. Manimarco convinced the Elder Council to recognize Abner Tharn's daughter Clivia as Empress Regent. But Manimarco was the true power behind the throne. Sai Sahan and I went into hiding. There was a bounty on our heads. Abner Tharn is Grand Chancellor of the Elder Council, and Chief Advisor to his daughter, the Empress Regent. He is also Manimarco's toady. Tharn's first loyalty is to his family and the Empire, and he's a ruthless bastard when it comes to defending them. The Worm Cult obviously doesn't share those loyalties. Tharn would never trust them, but he's too much of a coward to betray them. Maybe. But what could we offer him? He's already got more gold than the gods themselves. I know it's a lot to take in. We'll talk more later. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye on the Prophet. Hopefully that orb will help him find out where Sai Sahan is being held. Once we know that, we can plan our next move.
The fog has lifted, Vestige. The path before us has been revealed. It is both dark and twisted. Come to the harborage. We have an unexpected guest who demands your presence. We have an unexpected guest, Vestige. My attempts to use the Orb of Discourse to locate Sai Sahan did not meet with success, so I decided to try a more direct approach. I used it as it was intended and contacted Abner Tharn. He admits that he knows Sai Sahan's location, but he will not reveal it. He demands to speak with you directly.
We meet again, Vestige. I wish to speak with you on a matter of some urgency. Menimarco and his vile master have dark and terrible plans for this world. If you wish to stop them, you need to find the Amulet of Kings. But to find the amulet, you must first locate Sai Sahan. Of course I do. And I might be willing to share that information. For a price. If Menimarco learns that we've spoken, he'll have me executed. I'm a danger to him. I know too much. Therefore I, Abner Tharn, Chancellor of the Elder Council, Overlord of Nibene, formally request asylum. Do I look to be in a mirthful mood? There comes a point when even a patriot's loyalty is stretched too far, when the things he has done, and has seen done, become too much to bear. Would that I could. As it happens, I find myself to be somewhat of a prisoner, in dire need of rescue. My proposal is this. If you retrieve me from Menimarco's fortress and grant me asylum, I will give you Sai Sahan's location in return. You can't. And you'd be a fool to trust me completely. But the facts remain, you need me if you wish to find Sai Sahan, and I must keep my head if I am to ensure the continuance of the Empire. Neither of us has a choice.
Tharn is quite correct. We have little choice in the matter.
You can't be serious. How can we possibly trust him?
As our visitor so eloquently pointed out, we cannot. But if we are to locate Sai Sahan, we must do this. Go with the Vestige, Lyris. Rescue Tharn. Give him the chance to redeem himself. He may surprise you.
You appear to have arrived in the wretched Squalor, a shantytown of soul-shriven outside Menimarco's castle. As luck would have it, Menimarco is away on some errand for the Daedric Prince. The castle garrison is not on alert, so you should only encounter a token defense. The main gate is sealed, but there are undoubtedly other routes one might take. You're the hero, aren't you? Improvise.
What a skeever. Improvise, he says. I can't believe we're risking our lives to rescue that skeeving Horker. Subtlety and stealth. Let's not bring the entire castle guard down on our heads. And didn't he say this was a town of soul-shriven? Maybe we can find one who knows his way around. Try to be inconspicuous. We just got free of this place. The last thing we need is to get recaptured.
Is there something I can do?
Who are you? You don't look shriven. Are you one of those worm cult bastards? That's easy. All you've got to do is get captured, killed, and stuffed into a soul gem like yesterday's laundry. If you're serious, Cadwell can probably get you in. Might be too late, though. They just chased him into the guardhouse.
Why am I not surprised to find Cadwell here? He certainly does get around.
What are you doing here? Intruders!
Destroyed!
I say, jolly good timing. Lyris enchanted, as always. And you're looking fit for someone, so, how can I put it? Deficient in the soul department? Wherever the forces of evil prey upon the innocent, wherever souls are stolen and bodies shriven, wherever a people cry out for justice, there goest I. I mean, this whole eternal servitude business is rather nasty, don't you agree? Tiberius Garters, why? Lovely grounds, no question, but it's positively brimming with angry cultists carrying rather large weapons. I see. A rescue, is it? Well, that's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? There is a cistern that drains into the waterway. The door is locked, but that's not stopped me before. Why don't you meet me there, and we'll see what's what?
That might be our best chance to get inside.
You keep up nicely. I can't abide dawdlers. This whole bloody castle sits on top of an ocean of unstable oblivion, what's it? The Daedra use pipes to control the flow of it all, and it comes out as steam. Well, most of the doors in here are sealed with pressure from that steam. It's all rather complicated, but in a nutshell, if I can tamper with the pipes, we can open the doors to the inner keep, and you can slip inside. Well, I can handle the tinkering, but you'll have to keep the beasties off me. It will be quite a romp. Are you game? Onward! Ha-ha! Don't worry, this will get you inside with a minimum of fuss. One more after this one. There you are. Quick as you please. There's even time for tea. A pleasure, think nothing of it. The merest trifle, truly. You'll find this Tharn fellow at the top of the Tower of Bones. You'll need to make your way through the keep's heart to get to it, but it's not terribly far. I understand the King of Worms has set him to the task of inspecting the soul gems that find their way into the castle. Which is to say, well, all of them. You'll see crates of the things scattered around the premises. Indeed? Well, I might just take you up on that. But safety first. I'll stay here for the nonce and make sure nothing comes to bugger up our little adventure from behind.
Sir Cadwell came through again. That crazy knight is starting to grow on me. Should I be worried?
No, hear me out. How many Tharns does it take to rule an empire?
Shut up. I'm trying to work here.
None. The one on the throne is a patsy, and the one in the tower isn't useful anymore.
That was easy.
You, hurry up. The worms are on the move. There you are. I was beginning to think you were captured. The door at the top of the tower has sealed with a warded barrier. I've seen the worms use similar sorceries before. It will sear you to ash if you touch it. Here's a thought. The flesh atronachs that patrol the castle halls are assembled in a laboratory very close to the warded door. If you created your own atronach, it would be bound to obey you. You could force it to smash through the barrier. It's a simple process. A child of 5 could do it. Unfortunately, we don't have a child of 5, so I'll be forced to walk you through it. You'll need some good-sized chunks of flesh. Take them to the laboratory and I'll contact you there.
It's freezing in here. At least that means the body parts won't smell as bad. Not the most glamorous task, is it? It takes a lot to make me ill, but this is getting there.
Fight? Good.
imagine how the worms get used to this.
Oblivion, take you!
Put everything in the circle and we'll begin. Not very big, is it? Oh well. Now, cast the ritual from the book. We'll make a necromancer of you yet. You're not far now. Through the door and to the summit. Begone, insufferable worms. I'm working as fast as I can. So, we meet in person at long last. You look taller in your projection. And not a moment too soon. If I had to inspect one more bloody soul gem, I'd have thrown myself from the tower. A fair question. I know things. Things that can help you. Here's a bit to whet your appetite. Menimarco isn't doing any of this to serve Molag Bal. His ultimate plan is to out-scheme the god of schemes and to replace him. The Amulet of Kings is the key to everything. Why do you think he kidnapped Sai Sahan? He's torturing him, trying to get him to reveal the amulet's hiding place. Precisely. With the amulet at his command, Menimarco believes he can trap Molag Bal's essence and absorb his power. He seeks to become a god himself. I'd love to discuss this further, but this is hardly the place. Get me to a safe haven and I will tell you the rest. That was our agreement, was it not? Now, let's... Wait. Did you feel that?
Now, Tharn. No telling my secrets. Go to your room, Abner. I will deal with you shortly. Ah, dear Lyris. Your old position at the Foundry is still available. We'll even give you your own set of unbreakable chains. And you, the thorn in my side, the pebble in my shoe. How strong are you? Shall we test your limits? Infuriating. The process drains the energy from most victims, yet you keep fighting! Strength surprises me. But how much more can you take, I wonder?
Marco, you dare attack the Chancellor of the Elder Council. His power wanes, Vestige. Strike him down, while his attentions are on me.
How dare you betray me, Tharn! Your suffering will be legendary.
He will not remain discorporated for long. His consciousness will be adrift for a few moments, but that is all. Because Manimarco has delusions of godhood. He cares nothing for the Empire. He seeks only power. I've never done battle with him before. He's far more powerful than I imagined. Oh well, too late for regrets. In for a bean, in for a beanstalk. First things first, we need to get out of here alive. We certainly can't go back the way you came in. I'd imagine they're swarming the grounds already. There's a refuse chute further down the path. It's a bit of a drop, but we'll probably survive.
You must be the ugliest princess ever rescued from a tower, Tharn.
I'm shocked your lack of education and repeated blows to the head haven't dulled your wit, Titanborn.
Hello again. Need a way out? I'll have that open in just a moment. Arcade preserve us, you're as battered and bruised as a peach in a sack of rocks. Bit of the old derring do, was it? No matter. You'll be needing an escape route, no doubt. Well, it's what I do, quite honestly. We should probably hurry it up. The entire castle is as bristly as a sack of sewing needles after all that noise. Come with you? You mean leave Cold Harbor? Well, I don't know. It's been a very long time since I've seen the world I left behind. Do you think it's wise? Well, that wouldn't do at all, and it's not so bad here, actually. Oblivion has its charms, doesn't it? Go on, you scamps. There's a grate just ahead that leads down to the rubbish tip. Do mind that first step, though.
Quickly! I've opened another portal. Hurry!
My estates, my titles, my own life, it's all forfeit now. All in the name of preserving the Empire. I swear by all the gods Manimarco will pay dearly for this. Of course, I am Abner Tharn. It will take more than a few brainless cultists to rattle these old bones. Now then, where were we? Ah, yes. Truth be told, I don't know the precise location, but I do know that he is Manimarco's prisoner, and that the King of Worms is trying to pry the location of the amulet from him. Now, before you lose your temper, let me clarify. I don't know precisely where he is, but I can find out. I'll just need a little time.
What? You son of a bitch!
Ah! Are you insane? Get away from me, you brutish she-troll!
Lyris, stand down.
He's done nothing but lie to us from the beginning. I don't care what he says. He'll always be Manimarco's toady.
Please. Manimarco wants me dead. Did I pretend to capitulate to him? Yes, I did. Do you have any idea how many lives I saved by doing so?
The only thing you saved was your holdings in your own hide, you pompous ass!
Enough! Abner had no choice, Lyris. And we are guilty of our own deceit, are we not? The time has come for the Vestige to know the truth.
What's this? The Vestige doesn't know? Oh, this is rich.
Sire, don't.
Vestige, until now, you've only known me as the Prophet. But that is not my true name. I am Varen Aquilarius.
Our fallen emperor, in the tattered robes of a moth priest, blind as a newborn kitten.
I am sorry I deceived you, Vestige. You are angry. It is to be expected. I was once, but no more. My name is Varen Aquilarius. In truth, I feared you'd kill me where I stood if you knew who I was. You certainly wouldn't have allied with us so readily. I caused this, all of this. If Molag Bal destroys this world, the blame will be mine, and mine alone. You must not blame Lyris. She did as I instructed. She's my sworn protector, but she is also your ally. You have my solemn promise, Vestige. When this is over, if you still judge me harshly, you can end my life. I will offer no resistance. We must find Sai-Sahan. Everything depends on that. I need to confirm with Abner regarding what he knows. His defection is a surprise, but it will serve only to benefit us. Mannimarco did not dispose of his asset quickly enough, and now it is ours to utilize.
If you came for crafting certification, I could... You must be here to learn the craft, yes? Your alliance covers my considerable fees, allowing me to impart my knowledge at no cost to you. If you prove yourself, I'll certify you as competent to fulfill crafting writs.
Always a pleasure, Tharn. Try not to lose those stones.
Ah, excellent. You got my message. Apparently that little creature isn't completely useless. Banekin can be such children. I hope you've nothing pressing. We could be here a while. I can't be strutting around the city wearing my imperial regalia, can I? Your concern about my fashion sense is touching but irrelevant. I've called you here for a reason. If we are to determine a course of action, we need more information. By now, it should be clear your prophet Emperor brought these catastrophic events upon us. Everything that transpired is his fault. Granted, Mannimarco can be very persuasive and charismatic when he wants to be. We all believed him when he said we could change Varen's bloodline with the Amulet of Kings. You saved Varen's life when you rescued him in Cold Harbor. In return, he lied to you about his true identity and his part in causing the Soul Burst. He manipulated you from the very start. Perhaps the better question is, why don't you blame Varen? Varen wants to assemble a new group of companions in the vein of the original 5. Claims it fulfills a prophecy in those wretched scrolls of his. Superstitious nonsense, but he is quite correct on one point. We need to find Sai Sahan. In the chaos following the Soul Burst, Sahan stole the Amulet of Kings and fled the Imperial City. We're going to need that relic, and he is the only one who knows its current location. He was captured by Mannimarco's agents and taken to an undisclosed location. We need to find out where he's being held. Mannimarco keeps his most secret documents at Knife Ear Grotto in Deshan, inside a hidden lair of Daedric cultists. We must travel there and search for clues. Head to Knife Ear Grotto in the eastern mountains of Deshan. I will meet you inside. If I can endure Titanborn's inane prattle, I can survive your assuredly erudite elucidations. Proceed. Well, if you must pry, I am Chancellor to the Elder Council and Overlord of Nibene. But of all my titles, the greatest is my family name, Tharn. We are the greatest of the noble houses, with seats at the imperial court for countless centuries. Politicians? A grossly inadequate word to describe our duties and our legacy. The Tharns have a storied history of advising kings and emperors that can be traced back to the First Era. We understand the ebb and flow of power. Ah, there's the rub. With my untimely defection, my family will likely be divested of its holdings. The name Tharn is probably being stricken from every document in the Imperial Archives as we speak. I detest being on the wrong side of history. Don't sound so smug about it. This is a setback, nothing more. By allying with you, I will liberate the Empire from Manimarco's grip. The Empire is all that matters to me. I will do what I must to ensure its survival. Clivia. She is comfortably lodged in Manimarco's pocket, along with my nephew, Jabard. I doubt they've given my disappearance a second thought. Ah, fair Clivia. My charming girl grew to be a ruthlessly ambitious woman. I taught her well.
Let's hit the trail.
Can you believe it? Dragons in your own homeland. What are you going to do?
This one does not know, but he hopes his family is safe in Riverhoop.
Hold, adventurer! You're the one I seek.
There's something wonderful about wandering a city's streets with no destination.
I have many fine goods. Yeah.
Victory is cruel. Defeat is worse. Got no power left. Use a potion. Let's ride.
Yeah.
You there. How would you like to do something worthwhile?
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
I'm down on my luck. Help me out?
Always a pleasure, Thar. Try not to lose
Vestige.
those-
How good of you to attend me. Information has come to my attention that could significantly change the future of Tamriel and the Empire. If we're going to take advantage of the situation, we need to leave immediately. A situation that could end the Three Banners War and get Irene, Emmerich, and Yoren to return to their senses. While these children squabble over territory, the common people and the Empire suffer. We have an opportunity and we need to jump on it. In simple terms, I just purchased 2 halves of an ancient tablet, the Wrathstone. It forms a map that should lead us to a weapon whose existence will force all sides to cease their aggressive behavior. Help me acquire this weapon and end the war. We must hurry. Even now, someone follows me, resisting my best efforts to identify them. While I deal with this threat, I need you to begin the process of locating the triangulants. Without them, the map is worthless. Of course it is. I just invented it. Right now, the map shown on the Wrathstone has no identifying features. Without the triangulants, I have no context by which to read the map. I know a Khajiiti lawmaster, however, who can help with that. Each half of the tablet contains part of a map and an inscription. Khanzari and the demon weapon. The key to finding the triangulants resides in that Khajiiti myth. We must convince Dagoril Dro to direct us to storytellers who know the legend. Dagoril Dro often relaxes in stone falls. We need to bring him a gift, however, and I happen to know he is fond of dusk mushrooms. Gather the mushrooms in High Tide Hollow, then meet me at the Lawmaster's camp. I'll mark the location on your map. I know about a great many things, but Khajiiti legends tend to be convoluted. The Lawmaster must direct us to the secret order of storytellers, the Moon Singers. Only they can set us on the correct path. Now, gather the mushrooms for Dagoril Dro. An associate pointed me toward the scholar, Theriah, who agreed to deliver the tablet. She uncovered the two halves at Frostvault and Garlas Malatar, then had the audacity to charge me a small fortune. Still, the tablet forms the map we need. The tablet speaks of Kunzari and the demon weapon he hid away in an ancient place of power. But the map isn't complete. It requires triangulants to serve as orientation points. Without those, it's worthless. That's where the storytellers come in. Written records are silent on the subject, but the tablet indicates that Kunzari hid a demon weapon. That's the best translation I could manage. Demon weapon. I believe it's the same relic Queen Anequina used to end the First War of the Prides. Khajiiti legends, each based on a modicum of truth. Queen Anequina led the most powerful of the 16 Khajiit kingdoms. It even took her name. When the Khajiit fought the First War of the Prides, Queen Anequina used a relic to restore the peace. A mythic hero of the Khajiit. His tales tend to be rather outlandish, so we need to separate the truth from the lies. Once we gather the stories related to Kunzari and the demons, we'll find clues that will lead us to the triangulants. Menial labor? I think not. But weren't you paying attention? Someone has been following me ever since I decided upon this course of action. Despite my efforts, their identity remains annoyingly elusive. Only a mage of great power could hide from me. I doubt my stalker has any interest in you. Why do you think I requested your aid? Given your relative unimportance, you should be able to travel unmolested. Once I've dealt with my stalker, I'll join you at Dagoril Dro's camp.
Not much. They keep to themselves. I think they worship Daedra.
I heard they don't live in towns, because the dark elf houses hate them.
Right behind you, partner. love cities. The rude people, the noise, the chaos. Is it strange that I find it comfortable? No remorse! Huzzah!
there, Sarah! Hold there, Sarah!
That should come in handy. Let's ride. They made their choices, so be it. I don't fear dark places so much as the things that lurk in them.
Spiders. Damn the gods, why is it always spiders?
For glory! That was easy. You've got a knack for stumbling across those things. Learning, you stop growing. I don't intend to ever stop learning. Did you need something?
Ready when you are. want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
Did you bring troops?
Some people don't like the bustle of cities, but I come from a big family, so it reminds me of home. Let's ride!
Yeah.
Off we go!
Yeah!
Get back, you fetcher! Was tired of walking anyway.
Walker, good tidings and heartfelt salutations. The Garildro wonders what brings you to this serene location. This one rarely receives visitors. Wait, Wait, something smells delicious, yes? Do you perhaps carry dusk mushrooms in your bag? Dusk mushrooms? For Dagaril Drow? What a kind and generous gift to present to this old bag of fur and bones. Still, even a gift is rarely free. Speak, and this one will listen. Maybe even help if it is within this one's ability to do so. Does he now? What else has that old wizard told you? And why does an ancient battle mage care about a secret order of storytellers and a forgotten hero named Kunzari? No matter. For dusk mushrooms, this one will tell you almost anything. Oh, these will make wonderful soup. Thank you. 3 moon singers carried the secret tale of Kunzari and the demon, each a different part. Find a Zargo Longtail at the Redfur Trading Post, Misbina at Bandari Trading Post, and Satari in Raurka.
I see you made it to the old Lawmaster's camp. Were the dusk mushrooms to his liking? Gratwood, Malabal Tor, and Reaper's March. Not an easy journey, but I can make it more tolerable. Allow me to open a portal to Redfur Trading Post. Track down the first Moonsinger and hear the beginning of Kunzari's tale. I'll be along shortly. This portal will transport you to Redfur Trading Post. I'll catch up with you after I pay my respects.
Search my packs. You will find nothing. This one is innocent. Tell her, Gomani.
Kunzari said, "Not by myself, foul demon. I shall gather a Krajun, a company of heroes. Starting with the Altmer, Nurarian the Perfect, who communes among the buried roots of the alien worms. These are the words, and the words are true. This one recognizes a lover of stories when he sees one. Care to hear another tale?" Old grandfather sent you. Interesting. This one can only tell you what he knows, and Azargo only knows the beginning of the story. That is the way of things concerning the great stories and the secrets they hold. Are you sure you want to hear it? In the time before time, when the 16 kingdoms were barely more than 16 tribes, the great hero Kunzari went on many adventures. After Kunzari defeated the giant troll by consuming 401 moon sugar pies, he met a demon. No, a different kind of demon. Now be quiet and listen. The demon said, "My brothers and I shall take this land and its treasures, even the moons from the sky." Kunzari objected, but the demon laughed. "You cannot stop us, little cat thing." Kunzari said, "Not by myself, foul demon. I shall gather a Krajun, a company of heroes, starting with the Altmer, Nurarian the Perfect, who communes among the buried roots of the alien worms. These are the words, and the words are true."
What an interesting story. If only I could shake my shadow as easily as Kunzari does, well, anything. At least now I know where to find the first triangulant. Yes, the triangulant. The first reference point that will allow us to use the map and locate the weapon. We must proceed with caution, however. My unknown follower utilizes a magic I cannot penetrate. I need to conserve my energy, just in case. The location was spelled out in the Moonsinger's story. The verse concerning Nurarian the Perfect. It's as clear as the sky on a cloudless day. Among the buried roots of the Aeliad worms. It refers to a place I know well. Wormroot Depths. An Aeliad ruin located here in Grotwood. Somewhere in Wormroot Depths, the ancient Khajiit hid a reference point that will get us one step closer to finding the weapon. We should travel separately, for safety's sake. I'll meet you inside the ruin.